This is a boat show, a show where we visit New Zealand's boating community and hear the wonderful stories from on board their boats.
I wanted to get out of boat building a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And look at me now.
Look at you now.
Up to my elbows in resin.
From liveaboards to charters to boat stackers and to family boats, we meet them all.
So what's the story with this boat?
Oh, this lovely boat is Mickey Mouse, and this was Richard's boat from the age of 14.
New Zealand has a proud maritime history. There's so much to be said about our racing, export and super yachts. And although all of that is important, our focus is to explore the real people behind the real boats of New Zealand.
It's their way of life. It's different. We've had some wonderful experiences on the boat, but coming into here, it's like a village.
We hope you will come with us in our quest to find absolutely genuine people and genuine boats from all over the country. This is That Boat Show. And now, let's meet our host.
Hi, I'm Simon, and I've been around boats and part of boats since I can remember. Apparently the first picture I ever drew, my mother tells me, was a boat. There've never been boats in our family. I didn't grow up around them, and I've worked my way up now into a 52-foot bridge decker launch built in 1961, and it's a classic New Zealand boat. I'm working on it, as you can see. Have been since the time we bought it about 6 or 7 years ago. So I do all my own work on my own engines, a lot of my own sparky work, a lot of my own woodwork, all my own woodwork in fact, and I'm restoring this one and bringing it back to a former glory.
And now, on with the show. First on the agenda, Simon and his fellow friend and boat enthusiast Fleur are off to Lake Rotoiti, just east of Lake Rotorua in the Bay of Plenty, to check out some classic family boats. It's been a wee while since Simon visited his friends Charlotte and Richard, and there's a slight chance he's forgotten where to go. This way, Simon.
How about the look of that?
So cool.
Together. Let's go and see if Rich and Charlotte are home.
Hello. Hi, Tilly.
Hello.
Hiya, Charlotte, Richard. How you guys going? You too. Now bring it in. Hiya. G'day, mate.
Hi, Simon.
How you going?
Good to see you.
Fleur.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Hi, Fleur. How do you do? Nice to meet you.
How long have you guys had the batch for?
Been in the family for just 60 years
Wow.
this year. Yeah.
Little wee while. Let's go.
A little wee while since I was a toddler.
It's a wonderful place. We come down here a lot.
Yes, it's sort of passed down from generation to generation, and now the third generation of us is trying to take over.
What a beautiful spot. You got your own jetty and everything, which
Yes.
sort of implies that you might have a boat or two.
We have actually.
You want to have a look at your boats?
Come and have a look.
Check that out.
So cool.
Come and meet the fleet.
Meet the fleet.
She's lovely, isn't she?
Yeah, what have you named it?
This is Mickey Mouse.
Oh, I can so picture Mickey Mouse in this. We'll definitely have to take it out today.
I think I know which one I like.
With a tiny bit of convincing, Charlotte and Richard have agreed to take our crew for a spin. And as always, ladies first.
So what's the story with this boat?
Oh, this lovely boat is Mickey Mouse, and this was Richard's boat from the age of 14. And it's an English boat, it's an albatross, built in England and imported over here brand new for neighbours just down the bay. And Richard fell in love with it, and it became his lake transport from the age of 14. If you come in, you can feel that she's actually made of tin. Unfortunately, nothing happened to her for about 30 years, and then there was a bit of a renovation, and and she became back on the lake again, and she's really a lot of fun.
That's cool. So do you guys get out in it much, or?
Yes, we do. She's always launched, and various people go out. Richard loves to go out with Tilly, and we go out, and she appears in the classic boat parade at Lake Rotoiti every year, along with Caravel. So she's definitely a feature around here.
With Fleur knowing everything she needs to know about Mickey, she's ready to take him out and see what it's really like on the water. Can't forget the dog. Made from aluminium, the boat sits low in the water, making for a smooth experience. Now let's see what the guys have gotten up to.
When was she built?
She was launched in 1962, Simon. She was, well, my father designed her. She was lofted and built by a boat builder on the lake.
On this lake?
Yes, up at Okawa Bay.
Still around?
No, he died a few years ago, unfortunately, but he was a craftsman, and she was the last boat that he actually built from scratch. Did a lot of maintenance work on the lake, but it had actually quietly been his dream to build this boat.
This is quite a unique launch for the lake and for Auckland at the time, I'd imagine.
Well, my father had always admired the sort of workboats, Thames police launch style things of the 50s, and this really embodied everything that he wanted in a boat.
Well, would you like to go aboard? Love to go aboard, Richard. Show us what you've done. You didn't have much to do. The boat was structurally pretty sound, but you...
Structurally sound, but
Yep.
she'd laid around for a few, because she'd been in the front shed over here.
Yeah.
We had trouble with the slipway, which was disintegrating, and it got harder and harder to launch the boat.
Right. Slipway like rails. Okay, like
rails.
okay.
Which is what everybody used to have in the old days.
Yeah.
And it got to the stage where it was getting harder and harder to launch her, and it'd take half a day to dig the tracks out and muck around, and we ended up she just suffered from lack of use.
I see. Yeah.
So part of the plan was to reorganise the launching system and at the same time give her a bit of just a cosmetic refurb.
A repaint and revarnish.
Yes, repaint and revarnish.
So all of this is original. There's no change to all of that. Fantastic. How lovely. Well looked after.
That's the only piece of that and the cabin and the engine lid are really the only two pieces of ply in the boat.
Oh, this is all solid mahogany here?
Yes, that's all mahogany. The hull is Kauri, and we've got teak deck.
Teak decks as well.
The engine is original.
Yep.
Never had a refurb. Yeah, it's a Volvo BB70. The Volvo agents have no information on it anymore. In fact, I had to give them the manuals and parts books for it.
Is there an hour meter on it?
There's an hour meter on it.
How many hours has she done?
Less than 2,000.
What the? You're kidding me. Since 1962?
I can tell Simon's getting excited about this one. If I didn't know better, I'd think we're in the 1960s. All we need now are sepia tones. That's better. And now back to reality. That boat looks seriously stylish, cruisy, and a lovely ride. Next week on the show...
So it was the first one I understand in New Zealand?
Yes, very limited have the crane idea of this, but this is sort of, unique to New Zealand.
The manoeuvrability on them is amazing, being jet powered, of course.
Managed to hold on to the distributorship for the whole of New Zealand.
Oh, so you're the only ones that can
We're
bring
the
these
only
in?
ones that can bring these into New Zealand, yep.